So have you ever wondered how it is that we're actually going to get from 3D to 5D, right? There's a lot of people talking about this 5D Christ consciousness, unity consciousness thing, but nobody's really talking about how to get there. That's my superpower. That's what I bring to the game. So I'm going to help you today discover one of the most powerful things that we need to understand so that we can move from 3D to 5D. So let's get started. Hi, beloved. My name is Tamala, your empowerment partner, professor, and psychic. And welcome to your empowerment place. Today, we're going to talk about how do we know if we are actually in integrity consciousness or conscious integrity. So if you don't know what conscious integrity is or integrity consciousness, it is the phase that we're in right now as we're moving from separation in 3D into 5D unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, right? Um, 5D unity consciousness, Christ consciousness is all the same thing, right? It's just different words for the same thing. And so we're moving from 3D to 5D. You may have heard about that. 3D is our physical body, our physical experiences, the things that we're having in the earth plane. 4D is our thoughts and emotions. And then 5D is our spirit. And as we're shifting through, right, from 3D to 4D to 5D into unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, what we're having to do is we're having to change our 3D and our 4D experiences to get to 5D, which makes sense. Because as we go down the dimensions, right, from 5D to 4D to 3D, they get heavier, they get more dense, they get more viscous, they get more experiential. And so what we have to do if we're getting the planet and ourselves over into 5D, we got to lighten some things up. Okay. And that doesn't mean consciously, on purposely, always trying to create, positive, I believe I receive, a nonsensical, not paying attention to reality. Okay. That's not what this means. This is actually paying attention to reality, seeing how things are showing up in our experience, realigning ourselves so that we begin to attract the things that we prefer that are at a higher vibration, and then shifting our third dimensional experience through the law of attraction and attracting in what serves us as we are aligned beings to our soul purpose, to who we want to be. And then aligning our 4D, our thoughts and emotions to that, so that then we are in integrity consciousness so that we can shift into 5D. So what are the things that are required for this integrity consciousness? Well, we have to align our thoughts, our emotions, our words, and our actions. Okay. That means we are in integrity. The things we think, we feel, we speak, and we do. Okay. Here's the thing, we are already doing this. Okay. We can look around in our experience and see, okay, how integrous am I? What are the things that are aligned? What are the things that are not aligned? And start doing this consciously, because this integrity alignment is always been part of the human experience. When people say that they are looking to create abundance, or they're wanting to align with their soul purpose, or they're wanting to master meditation, or any of the things that us woo-woo people have said that we wanted to do. All of that requires this integrity. okay? This congruency, this alignment. And up until now, most of us have been doing it unconsciously. And what we're doing is we're shifting into now this conscious integrity so that we're thinking, we're speaking, we're feeling, and we're acting on purpose so that we really truly can begin to create the life we desire in our finances, in our relationships, in our personal health, in our spiritual connections, in our relationships, in our businesses and careers, in our physical surroundings, in all of the aspects of our human experience. So how do we know if we're not in integrity? So that's going to look like a whole lot of either nothing. You try to manifest things, but you're not getting any results. Or you can have a life that's full of chaos or confusion, distractions, um, things that just don't feel good. That also is an indicator of not being in integrity consciousness. So here's an example of being out of integrity consciousness, okay? You want to create financial abundance, okay? And you start thinking about, oh, I want to have financial abundance. I want to have financial abundance. You start visualizing, you make yourself a vision board and you start visualizing your financial abundance. And then you talk to someone on the phone and they go, how are you doing? And you go, well, I'm really struggling with finances right now. I can't seem to break through this wall of lack, right? I'm struggling with the lack. Okay. So your visualization and your words are different. Okay. Now, the visualization is what you prefer, and the verbalization, the thing you're talking about, is what's true for you right now. And we want to get these two things to be congruent with one another, and hopefully get this verbalization to align with the abundance. We're not going to start lying. Okay. That's not what we do. That is not how we create alignment or integrity. Instead, what we want to do is we want to find verbiage that's going to help us move towards where it is we want to go. So the friend calls and says, how's it going? And instead of going into the lack, or you can say, well, up until now, I've struggled with lack, because what that does is it identifies that reality, what's been true for you up until now. And then you can say, and what I'm working on right now is shifting my vibration around, shifting my words around, shifting my understanding around, whatever it is. Because that then gives you the opportunity to focus on what it is that you're working on changing and transforming or transmuting or alchemizing or whatever term you want to use. And so then you can have the conversation about, this is what I'm actually doing differently now. And what then you're giving power to what it is that you're actually doing. Now make sure that you actually do the things, okay? You can't just start talking about it but not doing it, okay? Everything about our experience, because we're in the third dimension, requires action in the third dimension. You can't meditate yourself into financial abundance. It's not possible. You have to do something in the physical world, okay, in order to get responses in the physical world. That's just how it works. And so the idea is, you have your thoughts. Okay, I'm changing my thoughts to financial abundance. How can I align more with my thoughts of financial abundance? And when the old patterns come in, you can say, wait a minute, that's not who I want to be anymore. I don't want to be in lack anymore. I don't want to be that person anymore who is connected to lack. Instead, I want to be the person who has the total, complete freedom to be and do and have anything I want to be and do and have at any time. out of gratitude and joy and fulfillment. And so you start thinking that. Anytime those old patterns of lack come up, those, oh, that didn't work before, oh, it never works out for you, any of that stuff comes up, you go, nope, I'm not that person anymore. That used to be true for me. Used to be true for me. It really did. I'm not that person anymore. I don't choose to be that person anymore. It's not me. Instead, I'm the person that has the ability to create the kind of life I desire on purpose, because I'm not using those old thoughts. I'm aligning with my new thoughts, and my new thoughts are, I'm fully capable. And I have a desire of my heart. And because I have a desire of my heart, I've had the teachings that Tamala has given about the desires of my heart, and understanding that if it is part of my desire, then I have all the resources available to do what it is that I need to do. So all I need to do is start looking for them. Where are they? Where are my resources? I'm not a taker, I'm a connector. I connect into the resources that are already mine, already available to me to do my work really super well. And so we're thinking that. As we're thinking it, we're feeling it, and we can begin to speak that. And as we're speaking it, our thoughts and our words are aligning. Then we can create emotions that align to that of, I'm looking for, oh, look, I know it's here somewhere. I know it's here. I know it's here. And we began to feel it and feel it and feel it. And it's not an expectation feeling, because that will just lead to continual expectation. It's an initial expectation, and then it moves into, wow, I already have this. And that comes from understanding that I really do have everything available to me to create this desire of my heart. And so I open up and welcome all of those resources into me, into my experience, into my bank account, into my team. I have all that I need. And then I start acting like I have all that I need. I'm not spending money on things that I don't have the money for. I'm not investing in things that I don't have the time or the money for. But what I am doing is I'm planning. This is how I'm doing it. These are the steps that I'm going to take. This is how I anticipate I may pay for it, but leaving it open to the universe providing a different, more aligned way. And I'm going to go talk to these people about this plan. I'm going to go talk to these people. I'm going to do these videos. I'm going to send this newsletter. I'm going to get my message out into the world. And as I'm acting with this, all the resources are available to me to do what I came here to be and do and have. And I'm thinking all of the resources are available to me, and I'm feeling all of the resources are available to me, then all of the resources become available and they start showing up, because we're now in integrity consciousness. We're consciously integrous with our thoughts, emotions, words, and actions, so that then the law of attraction can work for us instantaneously. And it happens faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, because we're not in the way. Our thoughts are no longer in the way. Our emotions are no longer in the way. Our actions or non-actions are no longer in the way. Our words are no longer in the way. We have created a super highway of provision for ourselves, because we are in integrity with what it is that we are desiring to have in our third dimensional experience. So basically what we're doing is we're clearing out the clutter from the 5D into the 4D, which is thoughts and emotions, and then into the third D, which is our physical body, our experience, and our actions, right? So we're just clearing out the clutter so all of those resources can drop into our third dimensional experience. That, in a nutshell, is what integrity consciousness is about. But we're doing it on purpose. And it's going to take our mental and emotional discipline, because we have to reprogram our thoughts, we have to reprogram our emotions, we have to reprogram our behaviors, which are our actions, and we have to reprogram how we speak about situations. This is not easy because when we are reprogramming ourselves, it can be one of the most difficult things that we can do. But it also is the most life-changing, because what happens is we get out of our own way and we begin to open to receive what truly is ours, to help us be and do and have what we came to be and do and have. So remember, integrity consciousness is about having your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions perfectly aligned with each other. And whatever you're thinking is the same resonance as whatever you're feeling, which is the same resonance as whatever you're speaking, which is the same resonance of what you are doing. And so when you align those, you're going to have a whole lot of abundance flowing into you that is going to assist you to do that even louder and better and wider and stronger and more blossoming and more thriving. Now, if one of those things or more is out of alignment, you're going to have distractions, you're going to have chaos, or you're going to have confusion, or you're going to have a whole lot of nothing. So what you want to do, if you're having the, let's call it the shadow aspects or the out of alignment aspects that are showing up for you, then you need to go back to, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I speaking? And what am I doing? And get those in order. Okay, get those little ducks in order. Because if they're not in order, you cannot get there from here. You cannot create what you want if those four things are not integrous. And we have to do them on purpose. So I hope this message has been supportive for you today. And I'm so grateful for how you show up, how you like and share and comment, that you help get the message out into the world that we are powerful, creative beings, that we are here to do our soul purpose on purpose, and that we absolutely can create the life we desire. If you're not subscribed, please do that. Leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. And I will see you next week.